Section 4.1 word problems. We have angle of elevation. Is the angle between the line of sight and the horizontal when an object being observed is above the horizontal. So in other words, an angle of elevation is when someone is looking up to the object. Angle of depression is the angle between the line of sight and the horizontal if the object being observed is below the horizontal. So the angle of depression would be this angle right here when a person is looking down at an object. A tree casts a shadow 21 meters long. The angle of elevation of the sun is 51 degrees. What is the height of the tree? So we have, there's the ground, and then we have this angle of elevation from the ground to the sun, and we're looking to see how tall the tree is. So this angle right here is the angle of elevation, and this one is 51 degrees. What is the height of the tree? In other words, how tall is the tree right here? Now, the shadow is 21 meters long, so that puts 21 right there. We're trying to find the height. So we have tangent of 51 degrees is equal to h over 21. So the height is equal to 21 times the tangent of 51 degrees. Now, with the calculator, we're going to have to make sure that is in degree mode because we're working with 51 degrees. So we put our calculator in degree mode, we take 21 times the tangent of 51, and our answer is 25.933, and this is going to be meters. A 15-meter pole is leaning against a wall. The foot of the pole is 10 meters from the wall. Find the angle the pole makes with the ground. So we have this pole leaning against a wall. The pole is 15 meters long, so we'll put 15 over here. And the foot of the pole is 10 meters from the wall. And we're asked to find this angle right here. Let's call this angle theta. We have the cosine of theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So we have 10 over 15. In order to find theta, we need to take the inverse cosine of both sides. So when you take the inverse cosine of cosine, those undo each other. We're left with theta. And the inverse cosine of 10 divided by 15 is, our answer is 48.19 degrees. A competitor in a hiking competition must climb up the inclined course as shown to reach the finish line. Determine the distance in feet that the competitor must hike to reach the finish line. So we've dropped a line straight down from the finish line, and the competitor starts 1 mile from the base of that line segment. Now that's 1 mile, so it's 5,280 feet, and they want the distance in feet the climber has to go to reach the finish line. So we want this side over here. We have the cosine of 48 degrees is equal to 5,280 over y. In other words, the cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent is 5,280 and the hypotenuse is y. Now we can multiply by y and divide by cosine of 48. So we have y is equal to 5,280 over the cosine of 48 degrees. So let's take 5,280 and divide by the cosine of 48 degrees. And the distance the climber has to climb is 7,890.836 feet. The chairlift at a ski resort rises at an angle of 20.75 degrees while traveling up the side of a mountain and attains a vertical height of 1,200 feet when it reaches the top. How far does the chairlift travel up the side of the mountain? Well, we have the opposite side and we have the hypotenuse with respect to the angle that's given. Now that relationship is sine. So we have the sine of 20.75 degrees is equal to 1,200 divided by d. Now we can multiply by d and divide by the sine. So d is equal to 1,200 divided by the sine of 20.75. We have 1,200 divided by sine of 20.75 degrees. And the answer is 3,387.046. And this is going to be feet. From the top of a lighthouse, let's try that again. From the top of a lighthouse 210 feet high, the angle of depression of a boat is 27 degrees. Find the distance from the boat to the foot of the lighthouse. The lighthouse was built at sea level. So let's take a line. Let's say this is the base right here. This is sea level. And we have this boat, and the boat can see the top of the lighthouse. Let's say the boat is right there, let's say. And then it says from the top of the lighthouse, 210 feet high. So 210. The angle of depression of a boat. Now the angle of depression, if someone is standing on top of the lighthouse looking down at the boat, is actually right here. Here's the angle of depression, which is 27 degrees. And by alternate interior angles, this is also 27 degrees. Now we want to find out how far away the boat is from the base of the lighthouse. And we have, it's this distance right here. And we have opposite and adjacent, which is tangent. So the tangent of 27 degrees is equal to 210 divided by x. We can multiply by x, divide by tangent. X is equal to 210 divided by the tangent of 27 degrees. So we take 210 divide by tangent of 27, and that's 412.148 feet. A sightseer on vacation looks down into a deep canyon using binoculars. The angles of depression to the far bank and near bank of the river below are 61 and 63 degrees respectively. If the canyon is 1,250 feet deep, how wide is the river? So we have the canyon, and we have this river running through the canyon, and the person is on top looking down at one side of the river and looking at the other side, and determines the angles. And it says the angle of depression to the far bank. So if you look straight out, that's 0, and the first one is 61 degrees. That's the far side. So 61 degrees, and then 63 degrees would be this big angle right here. So this one right here is going to be the 61 degree angle, and this one is the 63 degree angle. Now here's probably a little better drawing of what's going on. Now that puts the 61 degree here, and puts the 63 degree angle here by alternate interior angles. And we have to set up a relationship. We have the tangent of the 63 degrees is equal to 1250 over x. The tangent of 61 degrees is equal to the 1250 divided by x plus y. And let's multiply by x here and divide by tangent of 63. So x is equal to 1250 over the tangent of 63. And on this one we can do the same thing. We can say x plus y is equal to 1250 over the tangent of 61. Well, even better, x is equal to we can also say that y is equal to 1250 over the tangent of 61 minus x. Now we can make a substitution. Y is equal to 1250 over tangent of 61 minus this right here, minus 1250 over tangent of 63. So let's find out what that is. We have 1250 divided by tangent of 61 minus 1250 divided by tangent of 63. And the answer is 55.98. Is that going to be feet again? Yes, it is feet. Solve triangle ABC. Round side lengths and angle measures to the nearest thousandth. Let's find side A. A is equal to, well, we have a squared is equal to 81 plus 25. So a is equal to the square root of 106. So that's 106 square root. So a square root of 106. Now we need to find angle B. We need to find this angle right here, and we can say that, well, the tangent of angle B is equal to 5 divided by 9. B is equal to the inverse tangent of 5/9. So let's find the inverse tangent of 5/9. That's equal to 29.055. So that's 29.055 degrees, and then we can just subtract that from 90. And I know this is going to be negative, but we'll just say that it's 60.945. So 60.945 degrees, that is angle C.